Only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates. If you do want to come on another topics, make sure it's on the day, particularly everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
I think it's wrong.
Why so?
Well, I believe that
Okay, well, great arguments for today, everyone. Tap that fucking screen. Let's try to get to 100,000 likes. For some reason, people are just not going today. I don't know what's going on. Thank you for the hand hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Do
27.
you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
Yeah, I think it's wrong
Why so?
because in our state prisons and stuff like that, people are forced to get sexually assaulted
What does that have to do with people being gay?
because they're forcing their sexual preference onto people and trying to assault them.
That has nothing to do with being gay particularly. It has everything to do with people engaging in grape. Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. Would you associate straight grapists with the rest of straight people? And would you say that they're trying to force their sexual preferences on people?
Yeah, it'd be the same.
Okay, so then it's not going to be distinct in these two manners, right? So what's the point of saying that this would be something that would be relevantly distinct among straight people and gay people to say that being gay is wrong, right? But being straight isn't wrong.
No, I'm just saying being gay is wrong because of prisoners.
I don't see how that how that follows at all. Again, you wouldn't say that being straight is wrong given the exact same thing happening with straight individuals.
No,
So again, if it's not going to be the same thing when it relates to straight individuals, why do you apply this reasoning when it relates to gay people but not to straight people?
well, I mean, rapists are wrong in general.
You have to say R word or essay, by the way. TikTok TOS.
No, I'm saying rapists are wrong no matter what.
You have to say R word or essay. It's TikTok TOS. If you don't say it one more time, I'm going to go on to the next person.
I get what you're saying. No, I would just say it's wrong no matter what. But
Madeline, thank you for the Venmo. I appreciate it. Thank you.
in prison and working in DOC for so many years, I would say that it's wrong for that specific reason.
Yeah, but that wasn't giving any justification for as why. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much for as to why it applies to gay individuals but not to straight individuals. Because given the exact same conditions, you wouldn't apply it to straight people. So, again, why do we apply it to gay people, not to straight people?
Because straight is normal, and I'm saying gay people.
What does normal mean?
In society's eyes, like the reason people are straight is to reproduce. There's a benefit from that.
What does normal mean?
To me, or in statistics?
I'm asking what you mean. And what is statistics?
I mean,
have
not
to do with this?
statistics. I mean definition. My bad.
Yeah, I'm asking in definition. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't go out of the app to look it up, the exact definition. But I'm just saying.
How are you just referring to the term right now?
To being normal.
Yeah.
Like man and woman, they made with separate parts, and they go.
That's an example. I'm asking what's a way to define it? Can you give me conditions that you would meet? You're just saying it applies to this. I'm saying how does it apply, essentially?
I'm explaining like a woman and a man, they have the parts that can reproduce. That's what's normal, like a man and a woman together. A man and a man together, there's no benefit from that for anything at all.
Yeah, so is it wrong for a man to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
No, because
but that doesn't lead to reproduction either, and they don't have parts necessary for reproduction.
Well, that's man and woman, though. That's what's meant to be together.
I appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. But you said it's meant to be together because of reproduction. But in the case in which there is no reproduction, it's still meant to be together?
Both.
So what's the condition to account for people who do not meet these criteria that you just mentioned?
Are you talking about
being able to reproduce? Why doesn't it apply to straight individuals that cannot reproduce, but it applies to when gay people engage in intercourse and cannot reproduce?
Because woman and woman or man on man, there's no benefit from that at all. I mean, I could see what you're saying.
What do you mean there's no benefit in terms of there being no reproduction? Because the same thing exists in the scenario with the man engaging in intercourse with the infertile woman. Appreciate the crown. Thank you so much.
Yeah, both. I mean, in the gay side, I would say there's no point. But in the straight side, and you're saying a straight man and a straight woman.
An infertile woman, yeah.
Woman, yeah. I mean
what's gained from that?
No, it's because they're in a relationship or whatever, or maybe not in a relationship. I'm just saying a lot of women that are infertile become it.
Wouldn't the same thing be true for two gay individuals? They could be in a relationship?
No, I'm saying they can be in a relationship, but I'm saying it's wrong because it's not supposed to be man on man or woman on woman.
So all you're saying is man, man, bad, woman, woman, bad, man, woman, good. That's all you're saying.
Exactly.
Is there an argument?
No, I'm just saying
Appreciate that
that's my
mustache. Thank you
opinion.
so much. There's no argument.
I'm saying that's my opinion
Man,
about it.
man, bad. Man, woman, bad. Man, woman, good. Wow, great argument, man. I appreciate it.
No, I just figured I'd throw it out there.
Incredible. I appreciate it, man. Incredible debate point. Haven't heard that one yet. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for coming on. Everyone tap that screen. Thank you for the hand jar. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's try to get to 100,000 likes. If you want to help get out to more people, everyone share the live. Let's try to get to 150 shares. We're going to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. That is a new one. Haven't heard that one yet, y'all. I might have been convinced there. Man, bad. Woman, bad. Man, woman, good. So, like, honestly, that might have been the most convincing argument I've heard. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay, this person's not here either. Cause it's not right. But do you have any reason why it's not right? Like, I'm not hearing an argument, honestly. Damn, Parker might have lost that one. So real. First L. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18,
Yeah. What's your birth year?
2005.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
I just think it's like unnatural.
What do you mean by natural?
So like man and woman, they were made to reproduce. That's like our natural like thing to do. But
What do you mean made to reproduce? Are you
like
implying some sort of God
we were
exists?
created. Yeah, yeah,
So God,
yeah.
right? So how do you know that God exists in order to imply that like this particular claim about man, woman,
Well, it's
good,
the same for you.
man,
Like
man,
you have your
bad is
beliefs.
is relevant?
You have your beliefs, I have mine, but it's like you're
I'm
asking a
asking how do
question
you
of
know
the
that your beliefs are
why.
correct?
Are you saying there's only one right perspective on this? Because you're asking a
I'm
question.
asking how do you know that your beliefs are correct?
Faith. It's just faith.
Faith, right? So if I have faith that like when I die I'm gonna be a Pokemon master, beat all the like the gym
Well, I'm
badges,
not
beat
even
the
trying to
Elite
bring
Four,
religion
and
into this
be
now.
the champion of the Unova region, right? Does that mean that corresponds to reality just because I want to believe it?
No, you brought in religion. I'm just saying, like, man on man.
Well, I mean that was your
No, I'm just saying,
justification
like,
for why this is wrong.
well, like, if you're trying to like base this on like population standpoint, bro, like man on man, there's not many odds that man on man can create like kids, bro. Like the world, if everyone was gay,
Neither with a man and an infertile woman. Do you think that's wrong?
well, the chances of a woman being infertile are way less than just a man on man having a kid. That's not even really like,
Um, well, in this scenario, if you know that they're infertile, you know that the intercourse you have with them is not going to lead to reproduction,
well, I
right? So
mean,
in any scenario, it would not lead to reproduction here, right?
well, yeah, like I have an aunt that's infertile, but I'm saying like man on man, the chances of having a kid are less than just like women in general, bro. Like it's not natural.
I mean, if you're infertile, how are you supposed to produce a child here?
Did I say that?
Yeah, so if it is the case that they are not going to be producing a child, right? The intercourse, right? What's the difference between the intercourse?
What do you mean?
What's the difference between the two types of intercourse, right? Given
One's
that both of them
natural,
don't lead to reproduction.
one's natural and
Appreciate
one's
that,
not.
Galaxy. Thank you so much. But you said whatever is considered natural is based upon whatever leads to reproduction, right?
Yeah, that's the natural thing is man
Yeah.
and
So,
woman.
but if this doesn't lead to reproduction, well, then a man engaging in intercourse with a woman who's infertile, that's not natural either,
How?
because it doesn't lead to reproduction. That was your qualifier for what says is natural and what's not. I disagree with your standard. I don't think that context of natural makes any sense, right? But that's what you were saying.
So you're saying like you believe man and another man can create a kid and that's natural to you?
I don't think that there can be reproduction from that, but I don't think it's unnatural for a man to engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile just because they're infertile, because it doesn't lead to reproduction.
Or
Do you think condom use is unnatural?
no, that's natural.
Yeah. It's natural?
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
So you consider the usage of a condom as natural.
I mean, if you're not using a condom, if you're having sex, that's just like
Let's think about that real quick, chat. Using a condom is natural. Gay intercourse, not natural, apparently. Even though we see in thousands of different species of animals, right, that they engage in gay intercourse, that they form gay relationships, and some of them even adopt children amongst their own species and raise them,
are we talking
right? But
about
just
most,
because something's natural doesn't mean it's right. There are lots of things that happen in nature that are wrong. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. So why is what's considered natural the determination for what's good behavior?
I'm just giving you my perspective because like this question, there's not like one right perspective on it. There's so many perspectives on this question. Like you can have so many other people in this live, they're just gonna give you a different like perspective.
Do you think that you've given a different
I
perspective?
gave you mine.
Do you think you've given a different perspective?
I mean, I don't know. You've probably been doing this all day, right? So you've had a
No, I
lot.
just hopped on.
Really?
I've been on for 12 minutes.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's low key all I got, bro.
That's all you got? All right, man. All right, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates. Everyone keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to 150,000 likes, everyone. Oh my god. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
And how we doing this evening?
Good. How old? Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
No, because God don't intend people to be like. I mean, God don't make mistakes. In the beginning, Adam and Eve. If it was meant, and I mean, He wouldn't. It's put this way. I love everybody. I used to be judgmental, but God told me to pray for them and love them, and He'd be the judge. And that's just the way I am.
Is it wrong to engage
And
in gay intercourse?
yes, it is.
Why?
Well, because it's not natural.
What about it's not natural?
Well, because God didn't intend for man and man to be together. Well, you think my ribs hurts a lot because He took the rib out of a man, made a woman for a man.
Okay, so like that's an incoherent story if we look at like the evolutionary biology behind that, right? Again, and also like the usage of the rib would be so unnecessary. He could have spawned in Eve the same way he spawned in Adam, but
Well,
he decides to break off Adam's rib just to create Eve rather than just spawning him in like it's Minecraft. So I don't understand the necessary point there.
well, well. One thing is, let me just say this. I mean, let me just put it this way. I mean, I, I'm not for it. I think what's wrong with the world today, if first of all, is if you believe in the Bible, and the Bible is real, because I've been a Christian for a long time. I used to be at one time. I was atheist. I was, and
How do we know that God exists in order to imply that being gay is
well,
immoral
put
because
this,
God exists?
well, because I know because he I prayed for 20 years to see my dad before I died, before he died, and God answered my prayer. My dad came home January 7th, 1980, and he died January 7th, 1988. I got to know him for those 8 years. And it's not natural for a man or woman and woman raise a kid together and everything, called which one's mom and which one's dad. I mean, uh,
Wait,
but
I'm
it's
asking
just
you, how
not.
do we know that God exists?
Well, because I failed him and I've been through a lot and I
So
believe
we
in.
felt him. So like what so what about the experiences of say individuals like the Prophet Muhammad with the angel Gabriel in terms of dictating the Quran? Right? You wouldn't take the conclusions that they formed from the experiences of that spiritual experience, right? But you do take the conclusions from the spiritual experience that you just had. Why is that?
Well, it's a long story. And let me just say this: I had a son-in-law. He was really atheist, and before he got saved, he was 360 turnaround, and God took him a week before his birthday. He died with cancer. He quit drinking, quit smoking, and he even taught Sunday school. And let me just say this: we all prayed for him. He became a miracle. I mean, my daughter. He was my son-in-law. I mean, he was mistreating my daughter and everything, and we was trying to tell her to leave him. But you know what? She stuck behind him, and then he got saved, and he became a Sunday school teacher. God, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God. And I don't care what people says, and they might disagree, but God is real. And in the end times, what it is like today, when I was growing up, I'm 63 years old. When I was growing up, you didn't hear about gays and everything like you do now. And and like I said, I pray for everybody, and I'm not judgmental. I love them now. I will pray for them, but I will not.
Wait,
But
so
don't.
if you're not judgmental, why'd you join a live saying that being gay is wrong?
Well, because you got it on there, why is being gay wrong? And I'll just put it on there because I figure I'll get in because one day every every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is real, and one of these days you will see. And
Yeah,
if
I'm
you don't
asking how do
believe
you
it,
know that to be true, right? It seems like we're just making a claim that like, oh, Jesus does
well,
exist, right? I'm asking
that's
how do
what
we
that.
know that Jesus
Well,
exists?
I know he's real. One thing about it is
And
put
I mean,
this way.
in terms of being God, I believe Jesus existed as a person, by the way.
Well, Jesus was real, and Jesus was God.
As a
God,
person, not as a god.
yes, he was. Because he touched touched the lame and healed the sick and look
How
at
do you know those things to be
Lazarus
true? Those miracles, right?
because
Those are the least
hey
probable things to occur.
well I will say this, there's peoples out there. I mean, I'm not going if you don't believe, then you'll find out one day, but let me just say this, I'm not I'm not going to be judgmental to you and what you believe. It's like saying took somebody Merry Christmas. If I can't say Merry Christmas at my job and everything, and it offends somebody, then it offends me because the way I believe. So that's just the way it is. And I know God is real because
I don't know how the hell you got Merry Christmas out of this, but like,
what
what's
I'm
wrong with
saying
just
is,
saying Happy Holidays? I mean, if some
well,
people like don't want you to say that, right? Clearly, I'm not gonna say it to them, right? You
well,
say Happy
it's like
Holidays.
this. Let me just say this. Uh, I witnessed to a Jehovah Witness, and believe it or not, I said, "I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving." Let me just when you said about where this came in. So let me just say this. I said, "Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving." She said, "Well, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving." I said, "Let me ask you something. You have a roof over your head?" She said, "Yes." I said, "That's something to be thankful for." I said, "Is your kids, do you have kids?" She said, "Yes." "Are they alive and well?" She said, "Yes." "And do they have food on the table?" She said, "Yes." That's something to be thankful for. Would you believe 2 weeks later, she came back to my store? I was
Wait,
up in
do you
Lexington,
know the
Kentucky.
history behind Thanksgiving?
I know, I know, by the
So it's not just
pigeon.
about thanks. So there's actually pretty good reason for people to not want to like
I know,
celebrate
but
it.
I'm just saying, I mean, I'm just saying, but if you think gay is right, then uh, uh, there used to be a saying about that. But anyway, I
What's the
don't.
saying?
Well, they somebody put on there when I was growing up, got AIDS yet, and that's what they had it for. And I
What'd you
used to
say?
make fun of it. That's what I heard when I was growing up.
What was it?
GAY, got AIDS yet? That's what they was talking about and making fun when I was growing up.
They made fun of people for being gay?
No, they made fun because that's what they said had it stood for. Got AIDS yet? G
Oh.
O
Oh,
T.
so
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
make fun.
gross.
I know
Okay.
it. I didn't make fun. They made fun.
Why I'm so confused why you brought this up.
Well, it's just that's what they was bringing up back then, and now
Yeah, and you understand how that's propaganda meant to like demonize people who are gay?
I know it. I know it, and that's reason I used to be judgmental, and I'm just saying I will love him and pray for him, but I will not condone it. And
Yeah, but
God is a judge.
again, we don't have a justification for this religion as so why would we say that this is wrong, right? Given that we can't even justify the religion to
Well,
be
that's
true.
what's wrong with the world today because people wants to stand behind what they believe, and that's what people teach you in the schools and everything. Because growing up, I used to say uh, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and for
I
which
did
it
too.
stands, and one nation under God. But now they don't want to
Yeah,
do
we
that
were
no more.
literally forced to do that in my school. Yeah, same.
Well, I mean, I love it, but I mean, but I'll let you go back to what you do, and I mean, if you want to uh, bring it on, I mean, like I said, I would love you as a brother, and everything, but I would not condone what about being gay, because I don't believe in it, because you can't reproduce. A man can't have a
Okay, okay.
child,
If
and
I engage in
a woman
intercourse
can't
with
have a
an
child.
infertile woman, does that lead in reproduction? Lead to reproduction?
What now?
If I engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile, does that lead to reproduction?
Well, I mean, if she can have a baby, yes.
What does infertile mean?
Well, infertile means that she can get pregnated.
Infertile means she can get pregnated?
Well, I mean,
Is that
no.
what
I
you
mean,
said?
what I'm saying, no. What I'm saying is, if she has, if she's a woman, if she's a girl,
Okay, so infertile
infertile.
means that they don't have the necessary components to reproduce. I appreciate it,
Okay,
Devin. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much. So they can't reproduce. So if I engage in intercourse with a woman who cannot reproduce, right? Does that lead in reproduction? Lead to reproduction, I
no,
mean.
no,
No, it doesn't, right? So is that wrong?
no. I can't say. I don't
So
think it.
so
I
it
don't
doesn't
think.
matter whether or not it leads to reproduction?
Well, let me just say this: if she can't have a child, I mean, I can't tell you that. But I'm just saying,
What?
a man can't have a child. They can't produce
Yeah,
and
but like
everything
again,
like
the
that.
reproduction of life doesn't matter in the case in which the man is fertile and the woman is
Well,
infertile.
let me just say this: we didn't come from a monkey, and we didn't come from a tadpole. Okay?
We didn't come from a monkey, right? Because monkeys are like our cousins, right? They came from the
No,
same ancestor that we came from,
no.
but it's like millions of years back.
Well, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of people says they didn't believe, and let me just tell you this: the woman that took the Bible out of prayer out of school back in the '60s and everything. I can't remember her name, but let me just say this:
To
her
took prayer out
son
of
went.
school. W. That's what I gotta say.
Let me just say this: that happened in the '60s when I was growing up. They took a prayer and Bible out of school because we used to say a Bible verse when I was growing up and everything, and all that. But anyway, I didn't even go to a Christian school. I went to a public school. But anyway, make a long story short, the man that went with her, that with and everything, he's an evangelist now, and he goes around, talks about what his mom did, and he got saved. So I'm just telling you. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to tell you that you're right and I'm wrong, and I'm right and you're wrong. It's just, you believe what you want to believe, and I believe what I want to believe, because there's things that people cannot do, turn things around, because the way this world is, people looks at everything like it's okay to do whatever you want to do in this world, and you could do any kind of sin you want to do. Don't matter. Just go ahead and do it.
Hey James, do we remember what any of my questions were?
Yes, I remember.
What was the question?
Well, about infernal. If I got a girl, she was infernal and all that. I remember.
Appreciate the
So,
subscription. Thank you so much. So neither of them led to reproduction, right? And you
right.
considered one to be wrong and the other one not to be wrong. Why is that?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that I'm right and you're wrong, and you're right and I'm wrong. I'm just saying we'll find out one of these days. And I know where my mom and dad is. I lost my mom 10 years ago. Still think she's going to call me and everything, and I know where she's at, because
I'm sorry to
believe it
hear
or
that,
not.
by the way.
Well, let me just say this: before my sister was up there at the nursing home, she looked at my sister and said, "Elizabeth, I think God's going to take me home." And you know that she claps at my sister's arm, and God took her, and she's in heaven, and she's got a better place. My dad got saved 2 years before he died. I didn't know my dad till I was 20 years old. And I got to know him
Hey,
for eight
hey
years.
James. Hey, James. I'm going to go on to the next person. I appreciate you coming on,
That's
man.
fine.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. We're going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. We are just looking for some debates right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah, how old are you?
I didn't realize it had switched to me. 19.
Are you driving?
Am I driving? No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting in a car, but I'm not driving.
Is someone else driving?
I'm not moving. I can't come
I,
to
c- I
camera
can
that I'm
I
not
can literally
driving.
hear the car moving.
No, you can't. I'm not moving. You're not going to get banned if I'm moving or driving or someone else is driving because you can't.
Bro, like, yeah, that's literally how it works, bro. I'm sorry, man. I can literally hear it, bro. Like, what's up? How old are you?
Hello?
How
Hello?
old are you?
35.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I think it's wrong.
Why so?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, well, one of the things I'll say, I'm not, I, I, I don't want to be mean to anybody. I will say that. Um, this is not to beat up on anyone, but I've been listening to this and I've been hearing the whole thing about God and stuff, man. Um, I'm a believer, of course, and I can prove a lot of different things, and I know you'll probably go against me, but I mean, being gay, I know you don't like hearing natural, but I mean, if you think about it, man, if everyone was gay, how would we reproduce? And you keep talking about women. Doctors say that women are infertile all the time, but then end up having a kid. They said my ex was infertile, my ex-wife. It's crazy, but she couldn't have a kid, and she ended up having a kid. We prayed, I prayed, and then there's
So
other
that would be like
factors.
a misdiagnosis there.
No, no, they say it all the time. So you can't say, oh, well, it's
No?
women
I
are
mean,
infertile and
that
gay
clearly
people.
would be a misdiagnosis, by the way. But so you asked the question, how if everyone was gay, how would we reproduce? I have a question. Do you think that it's wrong to be to like never want to engage in intercourse with anyone?
Is it wrong to engage in intercourse with anyone?
No, to not want to engage in intercourse with anyone.
To
Like you
not
just
want,
you never engage in intercourse with anyone.
I think before marriage is wrong. So you're gonna ask me, I think having sex before marriage is wrong.
Okay, man, I think you're misunderstanding
So
my question.
no,
I'm
no, I'm
saying like you
saying
never engage in intercourse with any person.
yes,
Never.
if it's not the opposite person, if it's a man, if it's not a man and woman, then it's
What?
not right. And then
D-
if it's a man and a man,
Dude, man, there's no way you didn't hear my question, man. This is unbelievable. Okay. I said a person who doesn't engage in intercourse with anyone. Is that wrong?
no, that's not wrong. You're celibate? Is that
Okay,
what you're
but
saying? Okay,
yeah, if
my bad.
everyone was celibate, would it be wrong? Right? Because again, it is the case that we wouldn't be able to reproduce. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much.
Uh, Everybody's not called to celibacy, though.
Everybody's not gay. So the
Right,
same
it's
way
a
you just made a point,
struggle.
oh, what if everyone was gay? It wouldn't be able to lead to reproduction,
So do you
right?
think
Okay, well, not
adultery is right?
everyone's gay,
Do you
right?
think committing adultery is right?
Do I think committing adultery?
Yeah.
Do I
Is
think
that right?
cheating is wrong?
Do you think why is cheating wrong?
Well, cheating is wrong because you're violating like the boundaries and consent in the context of a relationship.
But what if I believe it's not wrong? Yeah, I like women. I love women and I want to go and have sex with women all the time. So why is that
Do you want to
wrong?
give me a reason? Do you want me to give me a reason why it's not wrong? Because again, would you say it's not wrong towards yourself? Appreciate the Forever
Okay,
Rose. Thank you so
so
much.
exactly, it's wrong to yourself. There, it does stuff to our bodies. So there's soul ties. If I'm having sex, if
No,
I'm committing adultery, it's the
no,
same thing. It's a
it's not. No,
struggle.
hold up, hold up. You have no evidence of a soul tie, right? But cheating is wrong because you're lying to a partner, right? Especially with something that relates to something in which an individual would break up, right? Thank you, Hot Dog. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much, right? You're violating the boundaries and consent of that individual in that relationship. Mary, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you.
Right, exactly, man. And that's the thing is like, okay, if I'm gay, that is something. If I'm committed to a woman and I'm cheating, there's something deeper there. There's a deeper issue. I'm probably exposed to pornography. It's probably watched some guys are exposed to pornography at a young age,
Sure,
and that
that could
messes you up.
influence things, right? But I mean, cheating has happened even prior to that point, right? But
Did you
like,
know?
can we go back to like the point we were making? I appreciate the night. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm going to get to that. I'm just saying this has something to do with, okay, porn is like heroin to our brains. So if you're telling
By the
me
way, you got to say corn.
corn,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
that's
new to
TikTok
this stuff,
TOS.
man. Okay, you gonna so okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, just help me out with that stuff. This I'm new to all this TikTok stuff. So, um, what now? What were we? What did you want to know now? Were we
I wanted
talking
to
about the
kind of get
celibate
back to
thing?
the original point. We were talking about the whole, like, if everyone was gay, it wouldn't lead to reproduction, right? It brought up the point about celibacy, right? You didn't say it was wrong to be celibate. I appreciate the elephant truck. Thank you so much. Even though if everyone was celibate, it wouldn't lead to reproduction, right? So the same point that you applied to gay people to say that it's wrong to be gay, right, is a point that you didn't apply to celibate people, given the exact same conditions.
So, what are we? Are we saying people that are struggling with gay tendencies, or people that are actually engaging in the same sex?
No one's, what do you mean struggling with gay tendencies?
It's why. Like here's the thing. There are so many stories of men or women coming out saying, "Man, I was saved. I was gay. I was engaging with, if it was a woman, it was a woman, a man and man, and they came out of it." And I know people personally that came to the Lord and that now they know it's wrong and they were lost and they were sad
They
and
believe it's wrong
depressed.
because they've been convinced of a religion that has legitimately no justification and entails contradictions. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. That is the explanation for that.
Okay,
They are
I think
convinced that
you
it's
know.
wrong because of the religious belief.
Why do you think there's contradictions?
Yeah, the problem of evil. I can give perfection based arguments. Would you like to go through them?
So I don't think evil and good, that's not what it says in the Hebrew. So
Hmm?
we're not
I said the problem of evil.
the problem of evil. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so do you think that God has free will?
Yes, God has given us free will.
No.
Absolutely.
Does God himself have free will?
God is sovereign means he doesn't have any influences outside of him giving him, telling him what to do.
So he has free will. Yes or no?
He has free will, but he does not go against his word. So you
Okay, so he
cannot,
has free will. He has free will and he never does evil, right?
he gave us dominion on the earth and he does not create evil. No, sir.
So God is all knowing, all powerful, all good, right? He never does evil and has free will. Is it the case that he can create human beings that have free will and never do evil?
So he created us, he gave us dominion, which means control to manage this earth. Psalms 116:15 says that the heavens are his, Yahweh's, and he gave the earth to the humans. Psalms 8 also tells us, "What are you mindful that you gave us the earth?" And so he gave Psalms 138 says that he places his word above his name. So meaning he cannot go against what he has put in place that would go against his integrity. So a lot of times people say God is in control. No, he's not in control. We control and have sovereign control of our thoughts. So this whole thing, and he has foreknowledge, but he actually in Jeremiah 32:35 it
Hey, what
says
was my
that
question?
PC. He don't want it. He don't want to hear that.
What was
Yeah,
my
I'm not gonna.
question?
What was your question?
You don't remember because you're yapping about something that doesn't relate to my question, man. Right? Genuinely honest. I asked specific questions multiple times, right? And you're answering things that have absolutely nothing to do with what I said. Like absolutely nothing.
He's
Did
all
you even
knowing.
hear my
You're
question?
saying he's all knowing. Is he all knowing? Yeah, I
No,
believe
we
he's
already
all knowing.
clarified that. We already all you had to say was yes, right?
Okay, but why can't I say something though?
You can, right? That's what you would say.
Because the whole thing is that you don't believe in Yahweh.
Yeah, and I'm kind of going down a line of questions to be able to show you that I was just establishing that basis, right? You were talking about things that didn't even relate to my question. You didn't even know what my question was because you didn't listen.
Well, no,
Appreciate the
they
confetti.
did. I'm naturally I teach, so I'm gonna make my point, and I was going against
Make
what
what
you
point?
said
A
about
point that
free
didn't
will.
relate to what anything I said.
You were talking about his free will.
Because I asked you a specific question and you were making a point that didn't relate to what I said. You didn't even remember what I asked you because you didn't listen.
Okay, what did you
Because you're
ask me?
so focused on your point.
No, I'm not focused on my point. I'm trying to answer your question. Actually, I care about people and I'm trying to answer the question. That's actually what I'm doing.
Really? Okay, so so again, God is free will. God never does evil, right? Thank you. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. Yes. Right.
Okay.
Can God create human beings in which have free will and never do evil?
He created us and we had free will. We were deceived by Lucifer. And
So
we
he created us
created
and we have free will, but we got deceived by Lucifer. Okay,
yes, and we
does that
created evil.
I asked the question, can he create human beings that have free will that never do evil? Is that possible?
We'd be robots.
No, because you still have free will.
So he would create us to have free will but never do evil.
Yeah, in the same way that God has free will and never does evil. If God has free will and isn't a robot, then humans wouldn't be a robot given the same conditions.
But he created a being who could have a choice.
Yeah, I understand. I've already established that when I say that they have free will.
Okay. But then how could they not create evil when we make a choice?
How could they not create evil when they make a choice? Because they've always chose to do the good thing the same way God always chooses to do the good thing. The
So there
exact
would
same
be,
sense.
so how do you define good?
It's going to be whatever relates to your own view, whatever you think God's preferences are.
So then there is nothing. There's no truth, there's nothing. We just make up our own definition to words and that's pretty much it. There's no standard.
This is an internal critique of your worldview. It's going to use whatever you consider to be sin, whatever you consider to be a flaw, right? That's exactly what it's going to be referring to.
Well, I have a I have
We live in
I
a world with
look
sex
at the
before marriage. Your idea is that God would prefer a world without sex before marriage, right?
no, yeah, because there's a
Yeah.
reason it prevents
So
problems.
if God can hold all else constant and choose a world in which again everyone has the same conditions, free will, right, but never does engage in sex before marriage, right? God would prefer that world. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's what he wanted because it
Yeah,
it
God would
it
prefer that
helps
world. So
us.
if God can create that world, right, and we see that we're not in that world, and we know that God would have created that world, given that God is all good, given that that's a better world under his own view, well, then we know that this God doesn't exist as we would expect to see a different state of affairs than which we currently do.
Man,
That's exactly what it is.
no, I don't know where you get this stuff. Um,
Do you want to dispute anything I just said?
you're not listening to God wouldn't do that. That wouldn't give us free will if we couldn't choose. You're taking the choice out for us. That's
No,
the
I'm not.
thing.
Again, I established that he has free will, that every single person has free will. They just choose to do the right thing in every single scenario. That's their own choice. Or like, for example, do I have the possibility today to do the right thing in every single circumstance? Cass,
You
thank you,
do.
subscription. Thank you so much. I do.
So,
Right, if I asked you that question tomorrow, would it be true?
no, because we go by our feelings.
No. So I don't have free will because I can't choose to not sin.
You can choose not to sin,
So
but
if I
sin, you
can
have to
choose to
define.
sin, then again, the answer to the question would have been yes, you can. Right? So it's true. Okay. So then it
Okay,
would be true. It would be true every single day of my life if I were to ask you that same question.
so if there's a kid, how do we teach a kid?
How do we teach a kid?
When we
Depends on
when
the
a baby's
circumstance.
born, you don't have a, I mean, I have a kid, I have a daughter. So if I'm teaching her, there are things that she cannot do. There are certain things I can't let her do, and I have to teach her before she does it. in the beginning of the time that the Bible was written and stuff, that's what we're looking at. That's what the Bible is for us to be taught so we can have instruction on how to live life. That's what it is. It's not commands and rules and regulations like a lot of people preach. You have to look at these words in the Hebrew, man. That's why a lot of these people come on here and they're talking all this stuff. Sin is to miss the mark. Sin is to not share in the prize. The word is armatia. And so when you look at that, to not what? Jesus came to give us life more abundantly. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. We didn't want to do it Yahweh's way. We wanted to do it our way. So he did create a paradise that was perfect. He created everything that was perfect. No sickness, no pain, nothing. And we were deceived. Eve was. That's the story, right? And then we went and we did our own thing, and now we're here, and there's been patterns of life that's been created, sowing and reaping. That's a principle, whether you believe or not. Sowing and reaping is always, that's a principle on this, and a law on this earth. And so we've created these patterns. The food sucks, the pesticides in the food, all these different things. So we have to come back to that place where what is right and what is in harmony with God and what's out of harmony with God. What's a standard? There's got to
What
be
was
a
my
truth.
question? You lost it again, right?
I thought I answered your question, bro. I really did.
When?
With what?
Was it in Japan? Did you do it? Did you answer it in Japan?
I answered it. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Oh, okay. So I'm
Where did
like,
you answer? Can you clarify to me?
I can't win with this.
Can you clarify to me where you answered it?
I answered it by talking about free will, and I was talking about our having a kid and teaching them. And there's certain things that you can't just let them do. You have to teach
Yeah.
them.
And how did teaching? So you're saying that like they couldn't have had that knowledge prior? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay. So or no, not they had to go through the experience to get the knowledge. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I would say teaching. We learn a lot of. I don't want to say, oh, well, I let them go and face the consequences. That's
No. Do
arguing.
they have to go through an experience to learn? To know?
Yeah, they experience things.
They
Hopefully,
do.
somebody's teaching them.
So God can't give us any innate knowledge.
God does give us knowledge. We don't walk with him.
So if God can't give us innate knowledge, right, then why would we need to go through the experience?
You experience him as you are learning his walking with him, building a relationship with him.
You said this is relevant for us learning things, for us gaining knowledge. Okay, and I'm saying we can have this knowledge without the experience. Why is the experience necessary?
The experience is necessary to see that he's faithful.
God already knows whether or not you're going to be faithful.
Does he?
Mm-hmm. Under your view, who's all-knowing?
How do you know? Because Jeremiah 32:35 says that they sacrifice the kids in the fire for the Lord, the God
Is God
Baal.
all-knowing under your view?
I think he has foreknowledge, but chooses not to know things because
He
it's proven in
chooses
the
not to
Bible.
know, so he doesn't have the knowledge.
See, there's scriptures in the Bible, bro, that you can see. It said it never crossed his mind in Jeremiah 32:35. They were sacrificing the child. He never commanded it, or it
So
never
is he
crossed his
all-knowing?
mind.
Yes or no? Answer the question. Is he all-know?
He's all knowing, but he chooses not to think on evil
Not that. What do you mean not to think on evil?
because he's no part of evil. He has no part of evil. Every good and perfect gift comes from above.
That didn't answer my question.
Well, it did. It just, you're not liking it.
Okay. Okay, if you really think that, man.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, that's what I'm answering the question. That's it.
I don't think I'm an idiot. I don't think you answered the question.
Okay, so I believe he's all knowing, but he chooses
To
to
not
not.
know, that means he doesn't have all knowledge.
He don't think about evil.
Does he have all knowledge?
Yes,
Okay, so he does have knowledge of evil.
he knows there's evil, yes, and he wants to prevent it.
Okay, so if he has knowledge of all of these different things, right, again, it's going to be the case that God has the idea in his head that every single different expression of free will that you have, okay, if I decided to eat chicken, I mean, not chicken, Cocoa Pebbles today rather than, say, Captain Crunch, right? God knows the two different expressions of my free will that could have taken place. Me choosing the Cocoa Pebbles and me choosing the Cinnamon Toast Crunch or the Captain Crunch, right? So the point I'm making is that there's some level of possibility that I did the right thing, right? I didn't sin. So if there's some level of possibility that I didn't sin, well, the same thing is also going to be true for every other individual. So if God sees every possible world that exists, God's going to see at least one possible world in which there is a reality where every single individual in that reality does the right thing, doesn't sin in every single circumstance, freely, totally freely. Not in the sense of being a robot, but that was their particular expression of free will in this particular circumstance, right? So God would see that world, and God would see the world we're in today, right? So God would see that the world we're in today has free will and has evil, and the world in this particular reality has free will and doesn't have evil. So if God has a preference against evil, God clearly is going to select the world in which there's free will and no evil, rather than the world in which there's free will and evil. If you're going to say that God would select the world in which there's free will and evil over the world in which there's free will and no evil, what you're telling me in that scenario is then that God would prefer evil, which entails a contradiction, right? That God would prefer a world in which God has a preference against. That's the contradiction.
Okay, that was a lot to follow, bud. So here's the thing. Now, how do you explain the sex trafficking? God's allowing that? He's allowing the sex trafficking and kids to be molested and stuff like that. He's allowing.
That's your worldview. Yep.
That's not my worldview. Not at all.
That legitimately is your worldview.
No, again, I don't think God can do. People think that, but I think that the devil is running this world. The Bible tells us the evil one, the
Who
world.
created the devil and who let the devil run the world?
No, I don't think we did. God gave us authority. He gave us authority to cast
Oh,
out
okay.
demons.
So he gave us authority knowing that this would have happened.
He gave us authority knowing this would happen.
If we
And he
didn't have
gives
this
us a
authority,
choice.
it would not have happened, right?
And he told us to go and make disciples and tell the world. And we need to rise up. Absolutely. We need to be the ones to be loving people and showing people the love of Christ. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not doing it. No, not at all. We're saying God's in control of everything, and that's what we're doing. God controls everything, and that's not true because he's
Yeah,
not.
God's not doing a good job then, if God controls everything.
No, well, no, I agree with that, and he's not. But he gave us the authority to do these things, and we're not doing it. Now, when he comes back,
Here, like, let me ask you this
it's
question,
a
right?
different story.
If cops saw a P3DO raping a child and had the ability to stop it and didn't stop it, did they do something wrong?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. God sees a P3DO raping a child, has the ability to stop it, and doesn't stop it. Did he do something wrong?
again, he can't go against what he put in place. He can't go against his word, bro.
So it's not wrong for him to stop it.
Dude, it's
Or he
like
to
my
not stop
daughter.
it. So he's
I
not doing
can't
anything wrong? Or
I
is he
can't
doing
stop
something
my
wrong?
daughter. I can't stop my daughter for everything she does, man. I can tell her, listen, this is what I want you to do so you don't hurt yourself.
Are you all knowing? Are you all powerful? Are you all powerful? Are you all good?
Exactly. I'm not.
No, no. Okay, so then like clearly you wouldn't be able to. God can. God has those capacities.
No, he doesn't, though.
Are you saying that you would be in a state in which you are all knowing, all powerful, and all good, right? And you would do something that would make your child worse off?
No, I would never do that.
No, you
That's what I'm
wouldn't. You would
saying.
want to make them better off, right?
Right. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
But
So
God doesn't do that.
yeah, if you want to make them better off, well, then it is the case that we can see this particular world in which they expressed free will in a way in which they always did the right thing. That's a better world in accordance with God's own values. I'm not saying this is a better world even under my view. What I'm saying is that it's a better world under God's view. And if it's a better world under God's view, God would have actualized it given both of these worlds having free will.
I get what you're saying, and I look, man, there are so many things that we don't understand when it comes to that, but I can tell you what scripture's saying, and I can go through a lot, and obviously it's not enough time. There's so many different things to say and show, hey, this is what's happening, but all I can say is that God is a God of integrity, and he doesn't do the things that we think. And that's what's been screwed up, is religion has screwed everything up, making us think that God is like waving a magic stick and controls every single aspect when we have made choices. And I don't look, I get it. Oh man, God can just come down here, but he really can't do that. It's a spiritual realm that he's in. We're in the physical realm. Now that comes to a whole nother conversation that you have to understand. We don't live by sight, we live by faith. What we can't see. He doesn't operate in the physical. He operates in the spiritual. So there are things that has to manifest to the physical. That's where we come into play. That's a whole nother thing. We speak. Power of life and death is in the tongue. Everything we speak, everything that we do, we have authority to do that. He gave us the ability to rise up and to rule and control this earth and manage this earth. That's what the Bible says, Psalms 116:15 again. So that's what I'm saying. He can't just come and do, hey, I'm God. No, he's in the spiritual realm. And so he uses us just like he used people all throughout Scripture. He used them to go and speak a word, to go speak repentance, which was something to change your mind, to help to come back to Yahweh. That's what he was doing. He always used people. So why did he do that? If he could just bust down the doors, why did he say, here, I give you the keys? Why did Jesus come? Jesus, you know why Jesus came? Because he gave man authority. So Jesus came from a seed to give us and show us that we never lost the authority. To show how it looks when someone operates in the Holy Spirit. When someone operates in the Holy Spirit, it looks.
All right, yeah. Someone got a PhD in Japanese and linguistics. It seems like that's not going good today. We're gonna be doing a co-host with Dean here in a second, everyone. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today, chat. Like, I'm sorry. I don't normally reference this. The yapping has been wild today. The yapping's been wild today, chat. That was brutal. I literally called him out multiple times on it, right? But he literally did the exact same thing like 4 times in a row after me saying it, right? So I don't know, man. What yappened? Honestly, I don't even know what yappened. That was kind of wild. All right, is Dean gonna come join? You wanna join now or on your live? What do we do? Peen live, everyone. He got yaptured. Yeah, he did. He did get yaptured. Yeah, dude, the yap is too good. Yap is too good. But yeah, we're gonna be doing this real quick, everyone. We're gonna see what Dean wants to do real quick. Maybe we'll hit a restart. Who knows? Let's see what Dean's doing right now, everyone. We'll give it a second because we're about to get him up here. He's like looking over at the other thing. He's about to like come get on. What are we doing? Me, my live, or are we doing his live? He got yaptured? Yeah, that's tough. Does he have Twitch? No, we don't do Twitch. If I were to do Twitch, it would be like gaming, but honestly, I'm going to be gaming on TikTok on like my third account or something. I was thinking of doing that stuff. But today we're going to be on like live really late, everyone. So we're going to be running a Peen live right now. Oh shit, are you alive? Yeah. LaFamo. All right, let me see what he's doing. We can do a little co-host. Hello, co-host. I think he already added another guest. So we'll probably get someone on in the meantime, everyone. Just tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 250,000 likes. If you want to help get out to more people, share the live, everyone. In the meantime, I guess I'll add up someone. I think Dean added up someone else in the meantime.
Yo.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
How old?
18.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I think it's wrong.
Why do you think it's wrong?
Because it's unnatural.
Okay, what's natural mean?
Natural is the definition of natural. Like, hold on, can you give me a second to look up the definition or?
No, I'm gonna join my friends live. All right, we're gonna go to the next person, everyone. We're gonna go to Dean's live. Okay, everyone, go raid Dean's live real quick. It's Dean. Spam Parker raid. Spam love from Parker. Adios, everyone. Today, I don't know what was going on with me today. We'll see, everyone. Go to Dean's live, everyone. It's Dean. Spam Parker raid. Spam love from Parker. I'll see everyone then. Peace out, everyone. Be right back, y'all.